Hello everyone and welcome to another Wilds of Eldraine traditional draft. And I think it's a rather easy first pick here. The Lord Skitter Sewer King is very good. Getting just a free rat each turn, even on the turn you play this, unless you make the mistake that I did once by playing this thing post combat. I mean, sometimes you will do that maybe because if you want to keep mana up for a trick of some kind, but yes, point is, it's a very good card, easily first pickable, unless, I mean, I would take it over any uncommon, and unless this enchantment sheet card was something amazing, I think this is going to be the first pick in pick one situation. I mean, almost always. There might be some crazy good rares in this sheet, but I don't recall which all of them are. There's a Stone Splitter Bolt commons, not that amazing. Yeah, it's an easy pick. There was nothing close to that. All right, well. Yes, this is going to be a Thoughtsty Tower. It's just so good, and black-red is a fantastic color combination. And even if I don't end up being black-red, this is also a very splashable card. So it's gonna be the peak. The other options are, if you just want to be black, you could maybe take Hopeless Nightmare. It would be a pretty weird choice, but if you want to really be, just mono black at this point, yeah, it's an opportunity. I think the Shrouded Shepherd would be my second choice from this pack though, but it's not really close enough towards the tower, so let's just take that. Okay, there's a Virtue of Strength, which is actually not good. How many of those do I have? Oh, a full playset, so I don't even have to worry about red drafting. It would be 40 gems. But yeah, the reason it's not good is that well, I suppose creature. Okay, it's a raise dead. It's a 1 mana return a creature or a land in some cases where you have a land in your graveyard and you need one. So yeah, it's not a useless card because the 1 mana version is a playable card. But the thing is, if the 7 mana enchantment is not gonna help you in limited. It costs so much mana to play that you don't really need the additional mana this generates, even though it does generate a ton of extra mana. But it's not a high pick by any means. The good cards in the pack are Bitter Chill. I mean, I guess it's these blue cards. All of them are fine. I think I'll take the Stopgap this time. It's also like a kind of splashable. It's a bargain card, and sometimes you want to have those for some specific reason. But yeah, you could have taken also the Bitter Chill, or you could have taken the what was the? Oh yeah, the Adventure Bounce Spell / 6/5. Totally reasonable pick. Now here, I think it's basically between two options. It's gonna be either the Tryon, which would be nice because I took a decent blue card. I wouldn't mind going blue-green, or there's just a cut-in, which is just a pretty good card. I have the Torch, the Tower. I don't know about how open black's gonna be, but maybe like blue-red is an option. Cut-in is strong card. This is better if you already know you are playing blue-green, but I'll take the cut in. I don't have any green cards here, for instance. Oh, there's a Hatching Plans. Well, that was kind of one of the reasons I took the Johan's Stopgap. I said that sometimes you might find cards that want to be bargained, and this is one of them. Of course, the other one is the Princess Takes Flight, and maybe there's something else too, but regardless, Hatching Plans now is an easy pick because I took the Stopgap. There's also a good white card, Glass Casket. There's another Stopgap here. But of course now I have, I mean this thing has also bargain, so I have basically 2 bargain cards already. Hatching Plans, easy pick. 2 mana draw 3, that's fantastic. Oh, there's a Collector's Vault. I had such a good experience from this card in a couple of drafts ago. It did really nice job. The thing is, this pack also has a Bitter Chill, which is, it's good removal. It's a 2 mana ETB, tap the enchanted creature, it won't untap. And then if they get rid of this enchantment or the creature somehow and this goes to graveyard, if I have 1 mana up, I also get to scry and draw, which is nice. Yeah, I do like the Collector's Vault, but I suppose I take the Bitter Chill. There's also a possibility for an Unruly Catapult, because I think blue-red is now more likely than black anything. I could splash the Slot Skitter though with this Collector's Vault, but I guess I'll take the very efficient removal spell. You can play it on turn 2, and turn 10 it's still going to lock down their biggest creature. Of course, it doesn't deal with creatures that have some passive ability. this doesn't create abilities, but most of the time you care about, you know, their creatures not being able to attack or block, and this does the job. Now, Scream Puff, Lich Knight's Conquest. This is not a very good card. I'm not gonna take that. It's too expensive for what it does. This is a sideboard card against decks that I want to, you know, deal with something that has 2 toughness. But I think I'll just take the Coral Smith. That's a totally reasonable 3-drop always. Okay, how do I go from here? There is a bargain card here, which, you know, the existence of hatching plans makes me want to pick bargain cards left and right here. Now, I might not be red, but if I want to splash for red, I think the Crystal Grotto would be nice. There's also Spell Stutter, you could just take that. But I think I want to keep some splash options now here. I don't think the Prowler is the pick now. It would be if I took the blue-green uncommon earlier. What does this pack say to me? Gnawing Crescendo is not good. I think I'll take the Spreading Seas. I'm not sure if I want to play a 2-mana cantrip, which sometimes, you know, actually makes their mana worse, but I don't want to count on that. If I get more bargain cards, this is a pretty free way to bargain. I don't think the mouse is that amazing. I'm not taking that. Aquatic Alchemist. Okay, so there's another white bargain card. It's not that amazing though. Yeah, it's just a combat trick. It's not a high priority bargain card. I'll take the Alchemist now. I kind of want to be blue-red, but it might be possible. It's just not gonna, you know, be that open. Although in pack 2 red might be very open because I really haven't passed amazing red cards. I'll take the modes here. And Kindled Heroism. No. I don't care about any of this. I'm not a big fan of this card either. Whatever, I'll take the white 2-drop. I mean, I don't want to really play any of that. Take the Water Wings. Living Lectern. That's a card you could play. Okay, there's a reason to be black now. There's also the Witch's Vanity, which is a reason to go black or continue being black because I do have the great Lord Skitter here. And then there's a Tenacious Tome Seeker, which, you know, has the magic worked bargain. Now this has a very high chance coming back to me at pick number 9, so I'm gonna keep an eye for that. Is the Likeness Looter or the Witch's Vanity the better option? I think I like the looting here. This is not something I wouldn't. This is not a card I would splash necessarily. This might be something I want to splash, although maybe it's not that great from a splash. But I will take one of these 2-mana things, and I think the Looter is decent enough. Looting that doesn't cost any mana is actually quite valuable. Now, what do we have in here? Again, checking for bargain cards, because I want to have, I mean, ideally I have like 5 ways to bargain away hatching plans. 4 is maybe enough for me to play this card, but I'm not satisfied at 4. I need at least 5 to make myself happy. Okay, but now the Crystal Grotto is here already, and I can find stuff like Prophetic Prism later in the draft, so I'll take the Threadbind Click, which requires, you know, access to white mana to be a really decent card. But it should be fairly doable at this point. Another Alchemist. There's a Frantic Firebolt though, if I really want to consider the red-blue version of this build, but how much do I want to actually do the black part? Because I have the Sewer King, which is really good, the Likeness Looter, which is like nice. So I could take even something like a Conceited Witch here. How about the bargain cards here? Again, the white trick is the only one. I don't really care about that. There's also the Catapult, but I think if I took a red card, it would be this. This is not a Goblin Bombardment deck. It works in black-red rat producing things. I could just take the Aquatic Alchemist as well. You know, let's be open. I know I'm gonna be blue and I want 2-drops, and this is actually one of the very good 2-drops for this archetype. Alright, now this is a tough question. Well, actually, there's even the, you know, there's a Burrow Nodi and the Feed the Cauldron, which could be considered as well. But here, what I'm looking for is also the Sharai and the Diminisher Witch. This Witch mostly because it has the bargain to eat up the Spreading Seas. But I mean, if I'm playing the white splash with the click, I should take Sharai. But I could really try to be blue-black with maybe some splashes and take the Feed the Cauldron or even the Burrow Nodi. But I think I take the power here. I'll just have the Sharai here. Compulsion, no thanks. Okay, Belluna's Gatekeeper is pretty sweet. Also, the Welcome to Sweet Tooth is actually a very good 2-mana card. Someone drafting green is gonna get a nice gift. Well, this is easy. Not really anything is as decent as the adventure card here. Another Trojan here. Okay, how about my mana curve? I could use another 3 mana spell, so let's take the Coralsmith, even though it does not synergize, but there is nothing that, you know, bargains. I'm a little bit worried about my spreading seas. I guess I can still get some, you know, I have seen a couple of blue bargain cards that are not very good, so I could get them back when the packs come, you know, my way again. Oh, okay, nice golden cards here, neither of which I can really utilize. Solitary Sanctuary would work with decks which has also the Shaddai, but I don't quite think I'm gonna be that deep in it, but I guess I'll take it and we'll see. It's very likely I won't be playing that. Okay, there's also Greta in here. What are people drafting? What are people drafting? Now the next pack is the one that has the blue bargain uncommon. I hope I'm gonna get it. Here, I'm not playing a Gingerbread in this deck. I'll just take this away because no one should have it that late. Hey, someone took it. Someone actually took the blue bargain card. I'm really worried now. And there's stuff like Root Rider Fawn here at pick 9. I'll take the sprite here, but I'm not even that interested in the sprite. Ooh, this is bad. I really thought I'm gonna get the bargain card back because it usually goes very late. There's nothing here. There's another phone. There is a 2-drop red card. I mean, I don't think I'm going to play the Pie Wielder. I'll take this thing because it's still like possible I'm blue-red in the end. Unruly Catapult, sure. Wow, what a disappointing pack 2 here. I don't like how the pack 2 went at all. No. Okay, well, let's take this thing. Compulsion, not gonna play that. Too slow, that's way too slow. Okay, Talion's Messenger. At least I got a very nice card to start the pack 3 with, but I don't think I have enough bargain to even make the hatching plans, playable right now. This pack needs to help me in that regard. But yeah, easy first pick, this is just good. It doesn't matter if this is the only fairy in your deck. But of course, if you're playing blue, this most often won't be the only fairy in your deck. It's just a very, very amazing card. Let's take that. Mana curve. Yeah, I have basically 4 colors, everything but green in here. And I have the only 2 black cards I have is the Lord Skitter and Likeness Looter. I think the Lord Skitter is a splashable if I have enough kind of free ways to splash. But now I see something important. Talking about the splash, Candy Grapple, a very good card to splash and has bargain. I would really want to have one of the prisms, but people have been picking these very early too, I think. Alright. Candy Grapple, and now I'm definitely playing black. At least, splashing. Splashing black for the Lord Skitter and the Candy Grapple, maybe for the Looter. This is a bargain card. Anything else that comes close? No, I'm just taking the Witch here. I don't have that much bargain fodder other than the, I suppose I have spreading seas if I choose to play it. This gives a counter token that I can sacrifice. Yeah, maybe I have some other ways to sack, but the more important part is to have just enough bargain cards to actually make the hatching plans work. So that's an easy pick now. Waste not. Yep. Oh, bargain. Is there a bargain? No. Well, there's mana fixing. This might be the 3rd collector's vault I see here, but this is a good mana fixing for my splash. I mean, of course, it does other things too. Also, create some bargain stuff for things like diminished which if I don't have the hatching plans available. So okay, collector's vault. The princess takes flight. Well. Oh, there's also a Diminisher Witch. How many? I wish I had a quick way to see how many bargain cards I have. I don't think I quite have one. That's one. Come on. One. That's 2. I think it's only 3. Oh, this is 2. I think I have 4. Am I gonna take this? Am I gonna splash white and red and black? Is this crazy? It is, but maybe it's also fun. So let's do it. Oh man, what a weird deck again. And then I'm getting this Sharai. I would take maybe bargain cards over anything else, but I'll take the second Sharai now that I have chosen to splash white. I really need a Prophetic Prism for this deck. I mean, the mana base is just gonna be bad. Oh boy. Sadly not anything with the bargain here. Okay, I suppose the Gatekeeper is okay. The Frantic Firebolt. I mean, I'm probably going to splash for red, but do I think I'll take the Gatekeeper instead. Okay, there's a cut in. Okay, where are the bargain cards? There are no bargain cards in here. I don't need a cut in number 2. I have already 4 drops here. I don't even know. I mean, I might actually, not splash the red at all if I'm gonna splash white and black, which I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think red might be cut. Otherwise, the mana is just too crazy. Okay, this is just good for the fact that it, can fix my mana. So let's take it. I wouldn't mind the Transmuter because this also taps when it puts the roll token, so that could mean extra cards drawn for these Harais, but I think the mana fixing thing is now better. Yeah, I don't think I saw really any bargain cards. Well, I saw maybe like one of these 3/2s, Diminisher Witches, but I picked something better over it. Okay, no one plays the auras because that's very late pick. Yeah, do I need to? Okay, I have only 2 of these, so let's take one of them. Candy Trail, yep, that's more likely than the green cards that I will definitely not play. This is a sideboard option. I'll get a 3rd Coralsmith. I think I have enough 3-drops, so I don't need 3 of those Merfolks. Okay, and now actually I realized that Torch the Tower is one of my bargain cards. Oh boy. How am I gonna build this deck? I mean, I think it's 4 bargain cards and no more than that. I really wanted to have more than that. That is 4, exactly. So that's 4 for the Princess Takes Flight and the Hatching Plans. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. And I would have to splash, a 3rd color. I mean, actually a 4th color. I'm like mono blue that would splash white, black, and red here. Oh. I know I can just ditch the Hatching Plans and the Princess Takes Flight and go from there, but where's the fun in that? That would also be I mean, I will have an inconsistent deck, but also a powerful one. I think one Prism would have been great. I do have the Collector's Vault, which is like also a way to keep playing cards of any color, but this requires mana usage, unlike the Prism, which you just play once and then you have the mana available without an extra cost. Okay, so let's see how the deck looks like. I'm going to cut stuff like, I think the cutting, okay, well the Misleading Modes is the first, Solitary Sanctuary is the second, even though I have 2 of these Sharais, I don't think it's really that important. I will cut one of the Coralsmiths and I don't think I care about the Mocking Sprite now. I don't need the Catapult. Any easy cuts. I think if I'm gonna splash black, this might not be that good because part of the value of this card is that you can play a nice looting and flying 1/1 on turn 2. If I just splash for black, it's not so great. I know it has the ability to become bigger because you have stuff in your graveyard, but it's probably not worth it because I have to make so many cuts here anyway. Likeness Looter, Skewer Slinger goes away. Water Wings I don't need in the main deck. And the Harried Spearguard. Okay, that's actually, easier than I thought because I'm down to 24 cards. I will be playing 25 with, there's so many splashes I have here. This can loot away. And this thing I can also loot away. If I played the, this thing, I would also have a way to loot away stuff. I have only 2 fairies, by the way. So this Messenger and what else? Threadbind Click. Alright. The cut-in is actually quite good with the Coralsmith. It's a little bit of a synergy indeed, because giving this thing a young hero roll token basically means there is a limit to how big you can make it, and the limit is the amount of mana you have available, because let's say this already has like 5 counters, so that this is like a 7/8. And then this triggers, the young hero roll token triggers if the creature attacks while its toughness is 3 or less. So if this was a 7/8, I could have 5. I could use 5 mana to make this into a 3 toughness creature, 12/3 in that case, and then it would still pick a counter from the young hero roll token. So I quite like the idea of playing cut in this deck for that reason. And I suppose these can be 2 mana this most often will find something to bounce. There's a limit, only your opponent's stuff and only things that have mana value 3 or less. So, but I mean, you will usually find it. So basically my mana curve isn't that, you know, heavy here, so to say. So I can play these 4 mana creatures. A stopgap can be a 2 mana spell. I really want the Candy Trail because the Scry to draw a card is actually going to be valuable in this deck because I will actually play 4 different colors. 3 of them are just splashes, but regardless. Now the question is, what is the cut I want to make? Actually, I do like also the Spreading Seas, mostly because of the cantrip might be valuable. I need to maybe, you know, I need to draw my good stuff. So that's also the reason why I don't want to be cutting the Living Lectern, because this also, you know, allows me to draw a card if I get to resolve this ability, and also if I get to attack with a creature that has a sorcerer role token, that's, you know, giving me some scries which I might be needing to get my synergy. For example, if I have a hatching blast, I definitely need to find one of my 4 ways to bargain. The same applies for the Princess Takes Flight, but at least this card does something even if you can't remove it. By the way, the stopgap is, yeah, that is a return target non-land permanent, including your own stuff. But then again, this has also bargain. So I was thinking that, yeah, I can bounce this, but hey, why wouldn't I just bargain this thing away? I don't think there's any other way to deal with the Princess Takes Flight, is there? I mean, other than bargaining. I suppose not. No. Okay, but I do want to make one more cut. I could see cutting the Living Lectern because it's well, I don't know. I know I could just cut a Coralsmith, but I also want to play it as a you know, curve filler. It's a nice 3-drop to play, and this Scry is also very nice. When it dies, you get the Scry too. So I mean, I get to dig into my synergies. And probably I will need to be digging to mana sources of certain color as well. I don't have that many 2 mana plays here. The Alchemist, that's 2. Lectern would be 3rd, and this thing is the 4th. And then I guess the Bitter Chill, I usually have the mana for it. Blue mana for turn 2 if I need to, you know, play this to slow the opponent down. So I don't actually even want to cut the Living Lectern. It's something I can do on turn 2. Oh man, this is tough. Although I have the double gatekeepers in here. They also buy me time. Okay, fine. Living Lectern, I will make that go away. I think the Spreading Seas is like slightly better. You'll just cantrip for 2 mana. This requires total of 3 mana and a creature as a target, which, you know, could be risky sometimes if the opponent has a lot of open mana. And, you know, sometimes Spreading Seas is like a not very often, but sometimes you actually can make the opponent's mana worse because of this. Alright, so this is the main deck without the lands. The Crystal Grotto goes. I don't think there's any other lands, nope. So that's like a 1, 2, well, and 2 ways to, kind of permanent ways to make other colors of mana. Although sometimes the opponent might find a way to deal with the Collector's Vault. It's a card worth killing, unlike something like a Prophetic Prism, which is rarely worth killing. By the way, one thing I realized now. Okay, let's see how many. I mean, it was the usefulness of the Aquatic Alchemist, but I suppose it can. It also has a you know, it triggers from this adventure creatures. So I only have 4 total of instants or sorceries, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5 things that have adventure, so that's, you know, 5 additional. Well, I mean, don't count them. So I guess 4 additional ways to trigger it. So that's a total of 8. But it also has something. I mean, you can use the bubble up sometimes too if you have the time for that. I have some removal I might want to reuse. So okay, I'm gonna play the Alchemists. I was thinking for a while to not play this, but then again I also need to have the 2 drops. So 1/3 is a good blocker. So this is it. How many of each color of mana? I think I will first start by trying this, and this would leave me. Okay, that would leave me 10 islands, and I don't necessarily even need 10. How about the actual number of 3 white, That's actually 4 because the Threadbind Click is also a white card. So I think I need to add 1 more plains. Now if I played 9 islands here, I don't even try the suggest lands. I know how I want to make this mana base look. So that is now for 2 red cards and 2 black cards. I have 2 basic lands of the corresponding kind. I still have the Crystal Grotto, the Collector's Vault, and the Scarecrow Guide. And for white I have 1 extra mana because I basically have 4 white cards. I know I can just play the Click as a 3/3 flyer. I don't have to use the Rip the Seams, but I really want to be able to do that. So that's like one more card for white. Yeah, let's play, 4 colors. That's not what I usually do, but I think this deck can make it work. I do think if I had if this was a Prophetic Prism instead, that would be a slightly more perfect, but oh well. It's still a fine addition to this deck. This Cry 2 helps me to find my stuff. Now, that's the main deck. Yeah, well, that's a very easy pick. Look at this hand. I mean, I don't know if it's the perfect hand for this deck, but it's really good. The interesting question is that at what point do I want to scry? I don't think I want to scry yet because I'm just happy playing Hatching Plans into Messenger and then, have the Candy Grapple that has the bargain so I can get the Hatching Plans up. And I don't actually at this point mind if I draw lands or spells, so I don't have any particular need to scry, something to the bottom of my deck. So I will wait until I get the scry. This also has looting, so I mean having extra lands in my hand is not gonna be a problem. This of course might just get killed, but this will draw me 3 cards, so I do need to get lands too. What is this? Wow. I mean, I got all my basics. This is 4 different basics on turn 4 if I so choose. Wow. Hey, don't do that. I'm happy I have the Crystal Grotto. I'm happy I have the Grotto here. So, I mean, I might want to loot some lands away. Like, yeah, this Grotto gives me the white and the red, so I will actually scry now just because this is the land I definitely want to have on the battlefield. I don't need an island. If I knew the messenger is gonna survive, maybe not even in that case. I have 2 islands here thanks to the spreading seas. Although the opponent might, bargain this away at some point and it will turn into a swamp. I'm happy I imagine if I played this on turn 2, the spreading seas would go on that, and then it wouldn't be able to fix my mana. That said, I had the remaining basics, so it wouldn't have been a catastrophic thing. Cast Courtier. Well, that's pretty... I mean, it's an annoying card. I have the bitter... This is the moment where I'm just gonna get rid of it. They are tapped out and all that. I use all my mana for that. Why doesn't it... Wait a minute, what's wrong here? Why does not let me... Okay, I don't know why it didn't want me to do that, but okay. Let's do this, of course draw first and then loot. Okay, there's even the second swamp and there's a Charre, so let's do this. I would say I'm in a pretty good shape now. Yep, I have still an extra island in my hand, yeah. This is gonna draw me a card, and then if this is on the battlefield once I play this on an untapped creature, this will be drawing me a card as well. They need to deal with this just gets out of... this just keeps growing, so they have to have an answer for that. But they do get a 1/1. Sadly though, I won't be getting any card now from this thing, but I don't think it matters really. It actually does not, because I have a good turn here regardless. I am going to... I actually will return the Candy Grapple to my hand here. So no, it goes to, not to my hand, but on the top of my library. So I have 5 mana available now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I play the Coral Smith, yeah, this is a 3 mana sorcery, so I don't think the Coral Smith is that necessary right now. I want to use my mana in an optimal way, and it's gonna be like this. Candy Grapple, I'm happy to redraw. Now I can play this thing. And yeah, my clock isn't really that, you know, amazing, but I have some very good cards in my hand. Quick study. Hey, are you gonna play a creature for the Sharai or not? Intangible Virtue. Well, I mean, I guess they do want to have some creatures at some point. I won't be triggering the Alchemist, so let's just I mean, am I gonna show them the? I'm gonna show them that. I have even a 4th basic land. Okay, that I can tap. All that. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't really want them to get any flying tokens because they have the Intangible Virtue. So I'm just going to kill this thing. They know about the Candy Grapple, so, but I mean they have to play some creatures or they will just lose. I guess I missed the Hump effect, but then again I didn't want to. I guess it was better to use mana on my turn. Their turn, I mean, because I have also the Coral Smith, which I can use to pump. Okay. Sure. Two cards left. Jumped Clothier. Just gonna make this into a 3/2. Not a big deal. And then I can tap it down and this should be victory. Oh, I do draw a lot of lands, but given that I have drawn so many cards in here, it's not a big deal. That gets tapped, I draw another card. And here I can just do this, and this is lethal. No, they're gonna go to 1. Now there's a rat effect in this format. Now I would get double Scry 2s if they've ratsed, but now this is permanently tapped. And this is just gonna block one of these guys. I have 4 lethal threats here. I'm not going to play the Coral Smith. I think it's more likely that they have the rat in their deck or in their hand, and then that they can, you know, win this game via conventional means. And now they have to actually also tap this thing. They get to draw the card, but I also know about the Curiosity, which is actually interesting that they let me know. But I suppose they still think they have a way to win. Maybe they do have the rat in their deck because they could stabilize with that. Okay, that's good enough. Spreading these. They can't do anything with just one card in their hand. Surprise lifelink somehow. I don't think that's a thing. Okay. So they are blue-white, which makes Spreading Seas slightly worse. Because... I mean, because they don't care about if I Spreading Seas their island, and basically only half their mana is something I can mess with. I don't like the fact that they have a Spreading Seas, though. There's nothing for Moment of Valor, really. They are blue-white, they are not gonna have a lot of ways to, you know, make creatures with power 4 or greater. I feel like the Spreading Seas could be cut in favor of something else, but would it be like the Lectern? Would it be the Water Wings? I guess the Water Wings is gonna maybe be okay-ish. Maybe. I just don't think this is worth having now. I know it's kind of a bargain for my stuff that has bargain, but I think I would just want to leave. If I have any bargain cards in my hand, I want to save them until I maybe draw Princess Takes Flight or Spreading or Hatching Plans. I guess I'll try the Water Wings here. Let's try that. Spreading Seas goes away. I don't think I care about the other things I could sideboard. Nope. Not now. Okay, this is a mulligan. They did mulligan too. I have my Crystal Grotto, which makes my mana work. This is gonna be very nice too. I think I still will, lose the other Gatekeeper. If I get to 6 lands, I'm happy to have 1 6/5 waiting for me. This allows me to scry into lands. I'm not going to play the Grotto on turn 1 because I might have to waste the scry in that case. Because I mean, if I scry to top with this, the scry 2 is, I waste a part of that effect. Yeah, these are good because the Crystal Grotto, unless it gets spreading seized, is going to, give me all the mana I need. Slumbering Keep Guard. Alright, so they are an enchantment deck. And I won't play the Grotto, of course. I mean, it would be pointless now because I know what's the top card in my deck. But am I going to just draw a card or play the Aquatic Alchemist? I don't have anything in my hand that I could use to return stuff with, so I'm gonna just play Board Presence here now. This gets a pump if I want to use the Gatekeeper, although I think next turn will be a Coralsmith. And turn 4 it's gonna be the Lord Skitter, because I will have 3 islands and the Crystal Grotto, which is enough to make the black to, make this thing do something. This also generates me those rat tokens that I can use for, of course. Oh, they missed their third land drop, which I can use for bargain fodder if need be. Okay, so this is an attack. Yeah, they missed land drop despite the sleight of hand, so they saw 2 non-lands there. Unless the card they picked over a land is just so good that they are willing to miss a land drop. Of course, they have now a fresh card to draw. Can that be a land? Well, it can be a land, but is it a land? What's this sleeve? Oh, my face is blocking that. It's some fox thing. Alright, so they have no... let me see. They could have a counter spell, but it's not really a reason to not play the Skitter here. It's also possible they don't have it. I don't need another planes, I just drew one. So let's see. Because I want to do this pre-combat to get the 1/1 token, and that works, and then I can even exile this in case it matters somehow. Okay. I think this starts to be a game over situation very soon. They might kill this if they have a trick of some kind. They just jumped. I don't know why would they jump it right now. It only was dealing 2. It would actually be dealing more later in the game. Oh, I guess now I do understand. They get it back, but it's just a young hero roll token, so unless it attacks, it's just a 1/1. Threadbind Click. That's a nice one. I think it's nice. I'm gonna just play it as a 4/4. The other option is to... Well, I guess I could even bounce this guy and then use a Candy Trail. But they can only trade with the 1/1. I don't actually care. I'm gonna play the 3/3 flyer. That's gonna be the best thing to do, I'm pretty sure. I can, of course, pump the Coralsmith once again. Because this only costs 4. Yep. I mean, they missed land drops, so... Then again, of course, I have lost my fair share of games where I miss land drops. Or have way too many lands. But of course, this is very tough for them to deal with, because of course I have the bounce here available if I want to. Let's say if they play some very good blocker that costs 3, I can just bounce it. Okay, Stroke of Midnight, that's not gonna help them at all. Is this a lethal attack? Because okay, they even do that. I don't even have to bounce it now, so this is, I think, lethal. That's 4, 7, yep, now it is. This is going to be... Well, let's just pump it twice. I could have even bounced, that to trigger the Alchemist, but I am not that bad at math. I know this is lethal, so one pump here was enough. Alright. That's that. Okay, again I got my Crystal Grotto here, so... And the Talion's Messenger. That's a fine keep. Now, am I going to scry on this turn? No, I'm not. I want to see if I'm drawing a land right now or not. I might not even scry. Well, we'll see. Okay, they played that thing. Okay. I mean, I might as well scry on the next turn. Next turn I'm going to play the Messenger pretty much no matter what. So let's wait for more information. If I naturally draw a land, I might scry a land to bottom in that case. Okay, Candy Grapple needs to deal with this, although I can also reset it by playing the Gatekeeper. Alright, so now I'm gonna scry into a land if I can. Ooh, that's one of my... That is one of my bargain cards. I also do have the Collector's Vault here, you know, which will create me some bargain fodder quite easily. That said, I don't really think a 3-mana 3/2 is that great here, because I have the Talion's Messenger this turn, Coralsmith in my hand. If I had one of my, you know, good things to bargain away in my hand, I would keep this on top, but I do have the Candy Grapple also, although I might have to... Well, I don't know. I might need to actually use it before I can wait to draw something, you know, one of the two good things. But let's now... Yeah, anyway, I want to actually just draw land. I could, I mean, with any untapped land, and I have only untapped lands in the deck, I could play this thanks to the Crystal Grotto with 4 lands total. So I assume they're gonna attack with this no matter what. I'm of course never gonna block here because, you know, even if they don't have a trick, I don't know about it. It's a free attack for them, I'm completely tapped out. But of course they might get like a celebration and it becomes a 3/3. Okay, that's... Yeah, they get the celebration here. And at least they can't attack with the Spear Guard. So now, land please. Okay, that's very good. Now I'll just kill this thing before they get to untap. I actually wasn't supposed to play the Swamp here, because I will of course attack to get the trigger. If I could play this says... Yeah, I mean, I guess I could play the Fairy and then attack, you know. I won't do that, because I want to use the Adventure, but this actually gives the counter to any target Fairy whenever I attack with at least one Fairy. So I could play this and make it a 4/4, but of course I will use it as the Adventure spell now, and this can become a 2/4. The question is, I mean, this is actually the land is valuable because I can loot lands away with this thing. The Collector's Vault is good if the game goes long. Now against red-white that might not be the case though, because the 5th land is quite useful in the sense that on the next turn, if I have the 5th land, I can play the Gatekeeper's Bounce and the Coralsmith as well, which would mean that I would basically not keep the vault in here. I think that is what I'm wanting to do now. I don't think against this color combination the game is going that long anyway, so it is a little bit of a waste of tempo to try to do stuff with that. But it's better now to use this while they are tapped out. This is an instant, but I don't wanna... I just wanna make sure this thing goes away. I will take 4 damage at least now. But, like I said, now I have the option to bounce and play a 2/3, which is a nice blocker. It will allow me to scry 2 and all that. I also can play the Candy Grapple on the next turn if I want to, because I did draw the Swamp, so I don't need to use the Crystal Grotto to make the black mana happen. Okay, so now I can loot away this island. I don't need a 6th one. I mean, I do have a 6-drop, but it's, of course... I'm gonna draw some lands here, most likely anyway. This can trade with something, I suppose. I'm just discarding the island for now. And then I think I will buy some time here. I like the idea of the bounce. I know I could play the Guide and the Coralsmith, but I like the bounce more. can bounce the mice. They have 1 mana trick probably there. Now I can block here. I don't mind if this dies to some kind of a trick, of course, because I get to scry too. That's what I was going to say. All right, stopgap. It's actually not that great to bounce any of that. It's also another bargain card, sadly. That I mean, I'm gonna have on the bottom of my deck, I believe now. I guess I could keep it on top. But no, next turn I can play a click and a guide probably. This will pick up a counter though. Do I need to? I mean, I could play... No, I don't like this too much. Do I want to have it? I'm just gonna do this. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I'm gonna scry the bottom now. I kind of want to have more removal, and bounce is not the kind of removal I care about. Okay, they are really hasting up now. This is kind of annoying. I know I can just leave the 3/5 to block, but this is just a 1/1 now. This will become a 3/3, so I think I will have to use the Candy Grabble. I can play the 3/3 here, which can block the Red Cap Thief. Okay, let's just do this here now. Okay, that's a good one. It can tap that thing. Now I do want to have the mountain here actually. The 2/1 isn't actually that good here right now. Or maybe I also could have played this pre-combat just to you know, make this into a 4/4. But I guess as a 3/3 it's still good enough to block the thief. Okay. So let's make sure I have the swamp up. I do. So let's see. They still have 2 cards I don't know about. Okay, they go like that. So of course I will try to block the... Do they? Oh, they have the 1 mana effectively kill spell. Okay, they have a Torch the Tower instead. Well, that's a shame because now I'm really missing the fact that I would have just been able to, you know, if this was a 4/4 they couldn't have made this play. Oh well. Let's kill this. Are they still having a trick? I mean, they had priority there for sure, but... Okay, I go down to 3. Yeah, I mean, all the hasters and all these removal, that was nasty. The thing is, I actually have a 2-turn clock here. This will deal 5 and then 6, which is 11 here. But I can't attack with it. Now, I'm gonna just do this first to draw a card. Let's tap the mice, it can't attack on the next turn. Oh, I got a 2-drop here. Now that is different. Because I mean, am I going to assume that they still win with this? Because I can have 2 blockers now on the thief and one of the 1/1s. Take 1/1/1 through. If they have like a trick, it will be bad. But I also want to have a win on the next turn, which I will if I attack now. Okay, this is not an elemental, so I couldn't give it a... But plus I want to now give it a counter to the messenger here. Okay, I'm actually going to discard the 3-drop here. So now, if they just still have, you know, something, then I lose. But this is also me winning on the next turn if they don't get to deal with the messenger. But they need... I guess 1 removal spell isn't enough because I can still block the 2/3. So they need specifically a pump spell here. That's gonna pick up an... Okay, nothing. Okay, 1 card I don't know about. It has to be a pump spell. Oh, it was that. Oh, that's annoying. I guess it could have been worse because they don't have any adventure spells here, so this inn isn't doing anything. So they are top decking now. I can't attack now, but I will force them to make blocks, of course, with this. because they are exactly at 6, so it's quite valuable. You know, they can't take this through. Of course, the first block will be with the Spear Guard, so that's pretty free for them. But I mean, I'm just doing it. I will have 3 blockers, so that is fine. And after this, they will have to block with, you know, actual, you know, relevant cards. Well, that's a 5/5, so actually this will... what a good draw, but still... that's a good one too. Let me see. Okay, here's the thing. I don't have anything any fodder for this thing. So I do believe I should just... I can't threaten lethal with this guy. So I'm going to kill the mice now. So they have to block with the thief. And then this will be reduced into a 4/4. Which I can use to... Maybe they will draw something. But... I mean... How about if I do this and attack with everything? The 2/3 blocks here. Oh, it's actually 1 shot. I didn't even realize, but it's 1 shot. So, I mean, if I kill the 3/1... this 2/3 blocks the 6/5, and then they can only block 1 of the remaining guys. Now, if they would block the Coralsmith, it would be a trade, but they can block the 1/3, the 2/3, I mean, and then they will take 5. It's not worth it. So let's kill the mice, and oh, I forgot this will trigger here. Now that's changing the math, isn't it? So let's go to attacks. This is gonna attack. If I attack with everything. 2/3 blocks here for sure. If they block the 3/3 here, they lose. If they block the... Oh, they have to actually block everything. Wait a minute. How can I not understand how this works? This is a 4-power creature. So they actually have to block the Coralsmith. Then now the problem with that is that they are not dying, and they have these two 1/1s here still left. Yes, they will lose the Bunicon, but I think it's safer to do like this. Because they go to 1 and then I have no blockers. And I take 2 plus if they have like you know, anything that deals just 1 damage, it will be horrible. I'd rather try my you know, luck this way. It has to be something relevant now. Something that returns a... Could be a... No. Okay, so now it's definitely different, because I have a win if they have just her land in their hand. I still don't like that. Are there many ways to deal 3 with commons or uncommons? I guess they could draw the spell that the white pump spell that gives flying and lifelink if they bargain. They can sack the 1/1/1 to make the other one fly and deal 3. Because I'm trying to think if I should just attack with everything, but I could also attack with only the Coralsmith and the Keeper. They would go to 2, and then if they have a trick, I still don't die to the counter attack. Going to play it safe here. I mean, if I didn't draw a land myself, I would have been done it. I mean, I could have done something different here. But now at least I will die to the trick that makes the guy fly. Okay, I haven't touched it out. That will exile, so I wouldn't get to... Yeah, I'm gonna just do this once more, so I get to scry now. Because this would otherwise get exiled, and they would get to scry too, so it's better to whiff this spell. Okay, Princess takes flight, Bitter Chill. These are both very good. So I'm just going to, you know, have the Bitter Chill. It doesn't matter really which one it is. Now if they draw the pump spell, it's actually not going to be enough. Because, you know, they don't have a bargain for their... That's not gonna do it. Okay, finally I have the full information and I will win now. I mean, actually, yeah, well, I have to do this because otherwise I don't deal enough damage here. Even get to draw the card. Alright. There were some decisions there. You could have done a little bit more, you know, more brave attacks, but I really didn't want to have all my creatures tapped and then take damage from the rats. So this is now, they have at least two Harrier Spear Guards. They have a couple of Torched Towers. Cut in Moment of Valor, but it's not that great against my deck. I guess it does deal with the Gatekeepers though, but I mean, these are also nice bounce spells for the early turns. So I don't think I'm gonna cut them. I could see cutting a cut in and in favor of having some more defensive plays, like just a third Coralsmith would also be good. I don't think the Lectern is that good in this case. I think this is a little bit clumsy now against such an aggressive opponent. I just want to hit my... I want to do something on turn 2 and something on turn 3, and the Coralsmith is actually quite nice on turn 3. So this is it. This is the sideboarding. Okay, now I do want to have some plays for turn 2. I have the Spreading Seas. Maybe I should have mulliganed that. Not mulliganed. I'll keep this hand, but I mean, they mulliganed, by the way. Maybe I should have sideboarded it out, but I have the 1-3 here, so that's nice. And maybe I can make their mana bad. I wonder if did they have double casters of any kind? Well, I suppose I'm just gonna play the Aquatic Alchemist regardless now. See if they are missing some land drops so I can turn the... Okay, now I will turn the plains into an island. That's actually a nice curve, but also my 1-3 doing some decent work here. Now what I can do here is actually... I have a bunch of things I could do. I mean, I guess like two different lines of play. I can play the Coralsmith and then face whatever they're gonna have on the next turn. Or I can play the Spreading Seas on the plains, and then, you know, I have the Torched Tower, which I can use for blocking purposes. I mean, I can use it to trigger the Alchemist. I can even deal 3, you know, by sacrificing the Spreading Seas. But I actually do like this idea more. It's not like I'm in a rush to you know, hold them back. This 1-3 did an excellent job here. Okay, well, they conceded. I guess the match was fun, even though the game 2 wasn't really. So first of all, the Spreading Seas wouldn't have mattered anymore. So I would have just, you know, used it to use for bargain for either of these things, or maybe even these. Actually, I had 3 of my 4 bargain spells in here. But the reason they conceded must be that they have just 2 lands in hand, and they know they have no good attacks against this board. But this just, you know, shows that how these 1-3s and these 2-3s are just actually quite nice against this white-red archetype. They were able to attack with the Spear Guard like once. How did I take the other point of damage? Did they attack? Yeah, of course, twice, because it has haste. So they attacked on turn 1 and turn 2, and then I got my own turn 2 and played this. So they couldn't do any more attacks, and I guess they just don't want to see how the game goes from this point when they have probably no gas and I have all these. But I think I should have maybe sideboarded the Spreading Seas out and replace it with something that affects the board. Maybe just a Living Lectern even, or something like that. Alright, so now I have a risky hand which I'm gonna keep because the payoff is so good. Basically I need lands and probably that the Scarecrow Guide survives. I have a Candy Crabble which I can use to eat the Princess Takes Flight. That's the short version of it. But okay, I can also use the Stopgap. Now I didn't draw a land, but I can now just use the Stopgap to deal with the Princess Takes Flight. I like that quite a bit. But of course, if I now could draw a land, it would be fantastic, and I did. Sometimes you just get the stuff you want. I also have the combination of Sharai, which will usually draw me a card, and then once this is on the battlefield and I use this on an untapped creature, I will draw another card if this survives. So I'm going to just play the most likely the Princess Takes Flight is gonna exile whatever they're gonna play now. And then I can even fly. Oh, just casually drawing the swamp as well. This is it's just it's unfair. It's unfair when I consider all the times I have a very consistent 2-color mana base, and then I have problems hitting my mana. but now it's just no problem at all. Am I going to? I think I'm going to, because this is an instant. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna set a stop in my upkeep. I actually want to play the Sharae now. It's the most mana efficient way to do things. So I will of course attack for 4 in the air, tap down the Edgewall Pack, and then before my main phase starts, so before this chapter 3 trigger goes to stack, I can use the Candy Grabble and bargain this away, because I have the swamp here. I guess if they have like a spreading seas on this, no, I still have the Scarecrow Guide, and of course they don't, given what they have, they don't probably have a spreading seas. So now I have a stop here, so I can, do the instant speed trigger before it's too late. You can't do it when the trigger goes to stack. You need to do it before you go to your main phase. So that means you can go to upkeep and even do your draw step. But in your draw step, it's the last point at which you can use this Candy Grapple. The opponent is, doing some good stuff. This will get the pump thanks to the Outrider, so I take 5 damage here, but I think I'm still in a pretty good shape. So let's first draw, because I can. Oh, that's a good one too. I'm going to kill which of them exactly? I can use the Bitter Chill on one of them, and I guess I'm gonna use the Bitter Chill on the Outrider. Okay, I don't know really. I kind of want the Outrider to die. But it's the only, in addition to the Rat, it's the only one that's gonna draw me a card with the Bitter Chill. Maybe I'll just play the Messenger this turn though. Although I don't want to take the damage, I want to play 2 removals here. But the problem is if I Candy Grapple, if I Bitter Chill this, it will permanently, pump the tracker. I mean, I kind of want to kill the Pack and the Outrider, but I don't want to kill the Outrider with the with the Bitter Chill, because it will keep pumping this thing. Although with the Bespoke Battle Cup, I think this will always get the pumps. So bargain and kill, just whatever. Let's get rid of the Menace guy. And then I go to main phase, and then I will just do this. Draw a card. I'll take like 5 here. I will scry to see what happens. Diminisher Witch. I can. It doesn't do much yet, but given their colors, it makes sense. And also the Aquatic Alchemist is good. I actually want to take the Alchemist first, because I probably want to use the Adventure there. Now I'm gonna take 6 damage if I mean, I guess they have a. Yeah, it's tough. They can even equip this so that I can't leave this to block it. I will try to raise now. Not sure if this was the best course of action, because this thing has haste. Bouncing it is not exactly great. Cut in. Okay, now bouncing this thing is okay. But I go to 10. No, I will go to 8 now. That's what I'm gonna go to. Alright, so this is going to be a little tricky now. Little tricky indeed. Also has 6 manas. If I play the bounce at 4, I can't even use the Aquatic Alchemist. I do think it's important to return my Candy Grapple to the top of my deck. But I don't have mana to use this and then use the removal. There is a world where I could just, use the stopgap here to bounce this thing. It will be a 5 power attacker. It's not easy. I can just get the life here, I guess. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, let's just do like this. I don't like this because I'm taking more damage than I would really prefer, but since I'm at 11 basically now, I can take the damage and I can, you know, use this to bargain if I want to. I think I prefer the card and life more than the 2-1 on the battlefield anyway. Now let's just do this right away. I guess they're not playing around any counter spells there if they had one. Although one thing is that now I can't. Or whatever. I'll have something here. I can even jump with the Scarecrow Guide if the witch isn't. Okay, that has menace. Okay, that's a bunch of lands. Well, 7 mana means that there's not that great of this is not so great. I'm almost tempted to actually make this into a 1-1, believe it or not. Because then this doesn't automatically get the pump, but then they just need to draw anything that has 2 power and that's it. Alright, so how to do this? I'm going to return the Candy Grapple to the top of my deck. And then I have 5 mana. Okay, I'm gonna just do it. This is a sorcery, so I guess that's fine. Did I? Well, I have to do stuff because otherwise I will lose. Well, I won't have 5 mana. Did I say 5 mana? That was horrible. I don't have 5. So what I must do now is just kind of want to play the messenger though. This I can use to this combined with 3 power. I can double block this guy. Ooh, I'm taking too much damage here. I guess I can just. I'm doing this without the. I'm doing this without the, you know, bargaining here. I know I could sack the Bitter Chill or the Guide, but sacking either of them is a bad idea. Yeah. They did not choose to gain life, but that means they might have bargain stuff here. Okay. So this says when it deals. Okay, they may sack it. Alright, I'm gonna risk it with this double block. Kinda have to. They have double strike, don't they? Well, then I was losing anyway. Then it doesn't matter. Okay, Titanic Crown, the same. Because this has menace, I never was able to prevent this. Alright, well, again, this time a close one, but man, this Battle Gap they had, their copy, that did so much work. They did extra damage with it. It's a shame because I was so close, but this was, I even have perfecties here, like you know, the Princess Takes Flight, which I was able to bargain. I had the Sharai and I drew another card from it. I had really amazing draw here, but that wasn't enough. They had a good draw, of course. That's why they were able to win. They were on the play, so let's say that was the reason. They were on the play. Alright. So again, what do I don't care about? Cut in will probably be good this time. They have some big creatures I want to be able to kill. Hatching plans. I'm keeping that. I'm talking about the spreading seas. I guess I'll cut that and just play the Coralsmith. I think I want to have the board presence against them. Yeah, they had a very good start, but so did I. So now, and they have a more consistent mana base, of course, with only 2 colors. So I will be in trouble here. But we'll see. I have one of my good cards here, which they might kill with the cut down or something. But at least I got all my mana with the Collector's Vault, unless they kill it with a random oof or something. Okay, I paused the recording there for a while. They mulliganed to 5. So this is gonna be easy. Not easy, but easier, of course. Let's do the vaulting here. a couple of looting effects to dig my good stuff. They have no 2-drop there. Rider, which I think I'll just bounce. Oh, maybe I can still bounce it though. But no, that would make no sense. Because I'd rather lock it down and draw a card. And then I can bounce it later, or something even bigger they might be playing. Gingerbread. I'm not too worried about that. They might have a cut down, but they don't have it for this turn. Or what's the name of the card? The 4-mana burn spell. It's actually, or basically anything that keeps a royal roll token is good with Gingerbread, because you can have a, you know, a 4/4 unblockable basically that way. Now I have nothing that has instant speed, so all I can do is just to attack and see what they're gonna have here. Okay. Which is useful. I can use it to make this into a 1/1. So let's do this, that. And think about things, because I would need to. So does it work? If I loot, yeah, it does work actually. So I'm going to do this. I loot then. Don't know why would I be tapping the. I have only one white. No, I have more than. Okay, I believe this is how I'm gonna loot now. This is how I'm going to loot now, and yep, I will actually ditch the candy trail. I want to have my land drop here. Now the idea is to play this thing and this with bargain, sack the treasure token, and make this 4/2 into a 1/1. And this way I still have the stopgap and whatnot. And I'm actually going to win the race in this game. But remember, they did mulligan to 5 and I was on the play. Okay, they're gonna get a young hero on the Gingerbread, but I suppose I'll just stopgap that thing away. Once I need to do that. Okay, I might just bounce it also. This is a 3-drop, so I could also bounce that if I really wanted to. Because I'm dealing a lot of damage here. So it's really tempting to do that. I'm actually doing it. It is a 3-drop, yeah. So now they can only jump with the Outrider if they want. They might not want to. I could have made sure that I can play this skitter thing, but I doubt I want to even do that. I want to. I mean, I'm not dying to the Gingerbread, that's for sure. Okay, so I can have a 4th mana, which I could use for the stopgap if I wanted to. Maybe the Aquatic Alchemist is actually not what I want to have. Okay, fine. I can make a treasure for the slot skitter here. So let's in fact do like this. They take like I think it's time for them to jump here to even in theory have a victory. Yeah, this is fine. I can just bounce that. I mean, they can, you know, play the Gingerbread again, and then they can, you know, give it another royal roll token. But the entire point of this is that they are running out of time. They have to deal with the messenger, and then they still have a bunch of stuff to deal with. And I have still gas, for example, this 6/5 and all. I think it's very hard for them to have any kind of a winning game plan. Those colors, I don't believe, have even any mass removals. I think I might have to turn lights on in this room. Okay, so that's better. Mulligans. No. Why do I talk about mulligans when I mean sideboarding? cut in. I think I still want to have a cut in. There are a bunch of things I want to kill with it. So anything that's gonna make it easier to defend. What water wings would give hexproof and counter some of their removal, and even enhance my creatures because most of them are smaller than 4/4. It's just a very kind of a reactive spell. I'm not sure if I want to go that route. And I don't really want to cut anything here. It's just that is going to be the deck. I don't think there's anything better. Maybe like a misleading mode for more interaction, but I don't know if that's even needed here. It's quite expensive also. Yeah, let's not make the deck any more expensive. I need to be on the board early because I will be on the draw now. And I lost the first game despite having a great curve because I was on the draw. Now I do need, I mean, this is now the thing that I have both of my things I want to bargain away without the means to bargain. But it's still a keep. I don't have the blue mana, but I have the Collector's Wall. But this is of course the kind of a slow hand. I can bounce something with the Gatekeeper, and this is gonna be used. I just want to find an island, so let's just, okay, that's naturally gonna turn up here. And then what I need to do next is, of course, oh, they have the hasty thing. I don't like that. I will bounce that for sure. But now the next thing what I need to have is to have a... I need to have a bargain spell. I have exactly 4 of them in my deck, but I do have the mana to cast them. So... They have a 2 mana play. Yes, they do, but it's just a Season of Growth, so I've got some time here. Okay, this could be used for another bounce, but I don't think I'm doing it right now. I'll just play the Coralsmith for now. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Coralsmith. It has the Scry too, which is very nice because I won't care if they have like a the card that gives this a Railroad token. They would also draw a card from that, and deals 4 to this. Then I would be able to Scry 2, and then I can still bounce this guy with another Gatekeeper here. So the Railroad token here wouldn't matter. Tangle Spell Lookout. Okay, that would need to be actually killed. I don't want them to get free cards. I think if I get to find one of my bargain spells early enough, then I will like my chances. And missing that, I don't like my chances because these are 2 basically blanks. I guess this does something, but it's really annoying if you can't bargain. Here it's maybe time to just start doing things with the Collector's Vault. I know I can bounce the Lookout. Okay, maybe I will do that for now, still. And yeah, okay, let's do that. Just to, make it harder for them to curve out. And then I do this. And then I guess I could even attack. Because there's like a non-zero chance this will be a 3/4. And if they attack with this... I mean, so the idea is that if this becomes a 3/4, I won't be blocking. If it doesn't become a 3/4, I guess I can take 1 damage. So, I don't know why did I do all that pre-combat, but I did. And because I didn't realize I should attack here. They do have 6 mana available now. I guess if the worst comes worst, I can just loot these things away if I just can't find a bargain effect. Let's look out. Another Scry for them. They did Scry the bottom, now they again Scry to bottom. Ah, they have a Spider Food on that. Alright, that is acceptable. Now the problem, it is exactly the problem now. I have no real... I guess I have 2/6/5 coming up, so I might as well just do this and hope they don't find too many auras. I'm not playing this because I rather wait for a bargain effects. I think I would just crack this, but okay, that's the first card they get to draw. I mean, not from that. They haven't drawn a card from the Season of Growth yet. They have scryed a couple of times, but now this Lookout this is the first the card draw for the Lookout. That's the thing. But this is a 4 power creature, so I can trade with whatever they're gonna attack with. I mean, assuming it's gonna trade with a Titanic Growth or something, but it's just, I mean, I get the Scry 2, which is incredibly valuable right now. It is incredibly valuable. Yeah, I really like this card. The Pump is not even blue mana, it's generic mana, and then the Scry 2. Yeah, I think this is just a very nice card. I mean, even because, I mean, despite the fact that it doesn't synergize with anything. Alright, now we get going here. So, it would be really tempting to actually Candy Grapple the Hatching Plans, but I genuinely believe now that it's better to use the Princess Takes Flight. I do. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to deal with the Tangle Span Lookout. At least try. Because that's the dangerous thing. Yeah, that's the one that will draw them cards. Now it's exiled. And now I can just, you know, trade with these. It's gonna be a 4/3. I can pump only once, and it's still going to be so that I will still have mana to cast the Candy Grapple if I want to. I don't care about the chapter 2, by the way, here. As you can see, I have a couple of 6/5 to, you know, keep doing good stuff with. Okay, they get the Scry one. There's not much I can do about it. I have actually, I mean, this Coral Smith just holds them back. That is so nice. Alright, so now this is gonna be triggered, but they don't want it. Okay, so this is actually just perfect because I wanted to make this happen. I will pump this guy, and if this is gonna just this combat happens, I'm fine with that. But if they have a trick, I can use the Candy Grapple. First, I will Scry, of course. Okay, this Alchemist will bring back the Candy Grapple, so I can use that to. Oh, sorry, I have a Diminisher Witch here too. Oh man, I mean, I'm still keeping the Alchemist, but I didn't even realize that I already draw another bargain spell here. This is actually insane. This is insane. Mary Bots. Okay. So, yep, they get to Scry, choose the target for that, and then I will respond by Candy Grappling. Doesn't matter. Like that, and then on the next turn, I guess I'll make the Merry Bards into. I don't even have to actually. I maybe wait for a bigger thing. They Scry on top. Yeah, I can just play my 6/5 here. And you know, making a 3/2 into a 1/1 isn't so huge. I think they might have something bigger. Well, that's not bigger, but it's, well, it's slightly bigger, but also it has menace, so it is valuable to make that thing into a smaller one. But I think I still might be able to. Well, let's see what they do. They Scry to top here, so I guess they're gonna Scry to top here as well. Ginger Brute. Okay, so that is going to. And Scry on top. Okay, now I have the information available here. I mean, they have a card they want to draw there. That's not nice, but other than that, yeah, I think the 6/5 isn't good enough now. It's not good enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crack that thing, and I suppose just use the sorcery here. I'm gonna make the Edgewall pack into a smaller one. Yep. But yeah, they have something good. Maybe it's just a combat trick, could be. I'm at the 18, so as long as it's not a big creature. Oh, that's something as well. So this is becoming a small guy. Well, I was going to pick up the Candy Crabble now with this, put it on the top of my deck, but I think I just start growing my own board of you know 1/1s here. I still have some loot effects, so I maybe don't play this island right now. Yeah, let's deal with that thing. And no, I'm not attacking because I have some. I think I'm favored in the long game, so I will keep these big blockers. So they need to. I will see now what's the card this cry to top, or maybe if it's a trick, I don't get to see it, but it's not a land, that's for sure. It's a Grabby Giant. Okay, it's not bad because they can get more cards with it. So I guess I'm going to deal with the Grabby Giant with this cry on top again, with the returned Candy Crabble. They don't really have any more attacks than the Gingerbread, but of course this will whittle away my life, so I do need to, you know, start attacking myself as well. But I suppose I can do that exact thing. Maybe I was supposed to play the land, by the way, because I might want to use 8 mana there. Oh, well, that's a nice one. Oh, they did not attack with the Gingerbread. Oh, that's because they don't want to use mana, which this would require, because they have 3 mana for the Grabby Giant now. Okay. So I can attack with a 3-2. I can attack even with a... Well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm gonna play the Shariah now. That's correct. And I'm going to tap the Merry Barge, and then I will attack with the Lord Skitter. The reason being that I don't want to trade the Lord Skitter with the Merry Barge, but now I don't mind if they double block it with the Ruby and actually triple block here with all these, or trade with a Giant. That's totally fine. So now I am going to do some aggression here. Play a post-combat Coralsmith. Yeah, I can trade the Lord Skitter with the Ruby and Gingerbread if they choose to triple block it. That's fine. I will still have the Coralsmith as a blocker. And I am at 18. But I also know they are drawing a card they want to be drawing. That sacks artifacts or lands. Okay. Okay, they go double block on there. Well, that's also totally acceptable. I have another 6/5 coming up as well. So now they're gonna sack a land to draw a card, I would believe. They take 6 here. And I have my Coralsmith, which is really good. Okay, I like my chances now. I still have the 6/5 here too, and I can bring back Candy Crabble, the only thing I can bring back. But it's a heck of a good card to bring back. So they drew the card, they scry it on top, and then an unknown card, which could be just a land. Okay, Recruiter, but with no access to white mana, they only cast it as a 2/2 that is gonna give them a little bit of... I mean, this is not even a lot of damage. Okay. They get this triggered though, it will be a 4/4. But, I mean, I can just... this guy can't pump right now, so I'll just figure out if I assume they have like a Titanic growth. That would be the first time they actually get to draw a card from this, but they have gotten multiple scries out of it, so it's not... It has, I think, been already quite decent. And now if they have a Titanic growth to draw a card, that wouldn't be so bad for them. Now I'm facing here 6... That's still 11 damage, so that is the Immodane's Recruiter. It's good even without the adventure part. They made this into a... No, they didn't. Okay, that's gonna mean that they wouldn't have... I mean, they must have a pump spell in the hand. I assume Titanic Growth, because they didn't make this unblockable. So I'm going to use this to eat the token and this to, you know, force them to use the Titanic Growth. And even now, if they can deal 11 if they want to by targeting one of these that unblocked creatures, but this is now fine. Yeah, I don't mind having this Scry here if they... Yeah, I assume they are wanting to save the root there. Okay, now they get to draw the card from that for the first time. I go to 11, Scry 2, any lands will be unnecessary. Shara is still alive, but I can block with it, I believe, so I'm gonna use... Well, I don't know when I'm even gonna draw that stuff. Fine, I'm gonna draw the Shara. And I have now 6, 8, 10 damage. That is 10. The amount of mana I have is 5. That's 8. So I can play this and the Alchemist, you know, without anything. They drew an unknown card. I'm going to play the 6, 5. I'm not gonna attack with Chara because I want to block with it. But I guess I'm gonna try to have a 2-turn clock. Let's make sure I don't miscount my mana. Yeah, I don't. So these will be blockers now. I have another Alchemist coming up. If I ever need to, you know, get something back from my graveyard. I don't think I need to. This doesn't really matter, I believe. So attack with, of course, these guys, and I mean, and Lord Skitter. This is now 8 damage. They go to 7, and I have 3 blockers to this stuff. Am I gonna lose? I'm not gonna lose. So let's try to get the win ourselves. This can keep being unblockable. I don't have any hasters, so I can't be too slow. They can like enhance this somehow and then just maybe attack twice with it and I lose if they can make this somehow into a very, very large power creature. Now, of course, they can't just attack with everything because they are facing a lethal counter attack. Now, they have only 5 lands, but they have scryed a lot, so... Oh, and actually they had 6, but they sacrificed one of them. Alright, Charm is counter. Now that's one way to make the Gingerbrute into a bigger threat now. They scry to where? Top. Alright, they keep drawing stuff they need. Oh, they went for a discard draw, so this isn't a 2-2 now. They have now 1 card in here. Could be a the 4-mana burn spell. Kill something and give this a railroad token. But now they do need to realize that. I mean, I'm sure they do realize that they are facing a potentially lethal attack, so they can't just go all out attacks unless it wins the game for them. I do think this is the 4-mana spell that is gonna deal 4 to one of my guys, and it's gonna give them a young hero roll token. Now the thing is, if they give it to the Gingerbrute, they would be tapped out. Gingerbrute couldn't be unblockable in that case. And that's just my guess. Of course it can be something else, but clearly they are looking at my creatures, so it's probably something that's gonna target my stuff at least. They go to attacks. Alright, so, I mean, what the... It doesn't matter if they attack with the Recruiter. Alright, that's fine. I'm going to block with Sarai here, because I'm going to play this Sarai anyway on my turn. And they are legendary, so... Yep, easy block. I don't need to risk the 6-5. They can let this trade happen, or then they can just... use whatever trick they have to save it, but I suppose they chose otherwise. And the Lord Skitter making these free trap rats is also gonna be quite relevant. So they did have the cut in. Alright. But now, unfortunately for them, I can tap this and lock it down for 1 turn. Yeah, and they have just a land. That was the second card they were able to draw with that. I guess I can still draw a red card, so I should not tap there. Yeah, this is fine. Although, can I force a block from them? If I tap the recruiter, they have to block with the gingerbread. Is that not the case? They can block them 6-5 with the 1-1. And then take lethal, especially because I can trigger this. So yeah, let's actually make them block with the gingerbread. They don't have mana to make it into a, into 3 life either. So this is that. Oh, well, just win the game then. Okay. Just win the game then. Because this is now lethal. Alright, well, I basically had no issues with the 4 colors. And it feels like there's like sometimes no justice. Because I so often play 2 color decks that often have like Evolving Wilds or 2. And then you have those games where you have only one of the colors available. Here, just play 4 colors, no issues, basically. I did have the fixing, so I don't think my mana base was bad, but it's so funny that I still happen to draw those multiple of those splashed basic lands too. But yeah, I'm happy now that I went for the power. I also was able to use like all the good stuff. Even in a single game, I was able to play the Hatching Plans and the Princess Takes Flight, and bargain both of them away. Other than that, I had multiple uses for the Sharai. It's just a really good card. And then I had the Lord Skitter doing some work, especially in the last game. And what else? Yeah, of course I did have the Italian's Messenger, at least, helping me quite a bit. At least in one game. And then I guess the Merfolk Corralsmith is just... I think it proved its value. It's good against aggressive decks with small creatures. It's good against decks that have those medium-sized creatures, because these can still at least threaten to trade with them. And the Scry 2 on death is just it really makes this much better. Yeah, well, that was a 3-0. The mana base, I still think it was decent with the Collector's Vault, the Grotto, and quite a bunch of card draw. Because remember, that's the wrong word. Note that this is not exactly like a 2-color deck that splashes 2 other colors. That would be much harder to make the mana work for. But now this is a single color deck that splashes, still a large number of other cards. This is actually a total of 7 cards, not counting even the adventure here. Although this is a blue card, you can just play if you don't have access to white. Regardless, I basically splashed for 7 cards, but I needed to use 3 different additional colors to achieve that. But thanks to the Grotto, thanks to the Vault, it was a decent mana base. But regardless of that, I drew these non-island basics, multiple different kinds in almost every game. So yeah. Anyway, it was a fun deck, it was a powerful deck, and got the 3-0, because this kind of deck maybe should get the 3-0 if it just doesn't stumble on the mana, I suppose. So yeah, that was that. I at least got to draft a different kind of deck than the the kind of the aura focused deck that my 2 previous drafts were on the channel. So here's something different also. And hopefully the next draft will be very exciting as well, and I will see you there. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.